Obi-Wan! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. We're going to be talking about Obi-Wan, episode 3. Yes. If you count last week's episode, we had a few pros of this show, but mostly we were not exactly happy with it. But
that is an understatement.
Before we get into it, though, I got some friends here with me. I have my good old pal, Nick.
Hi.
And next to him is One-Eyed Matt.
One-Eyed Matt. Half-face Matt. Oh,
there he is.
There's full face.
Say hello, man.
How's it going?
Oh, yep.
Yep.
And
About par
last
for the
but
show.
certainly not least,
We got
the man with the plan.
Disembodied
The
Dan.
man in red. It's Dan. How's it going? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Am I glitching?
No,
Nope.
you're not going any faster than you should be.
Good deal. Then I should be.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's jump. We're gonna go into some non-spoilers at first. I know it's not easy for us to do. We're gonna do some non-spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, you're safe for now, maybe. And then we're gonna jump into spoilers. All right, so
No one is safe.
if you caught the first 2 episodes, things how can I guess how
Tell me
can
one
we?
of those.
No, they're empty.
Are they empty? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind.
Oh my goodness! Starting
Yeah,
off
just
strong.
going to non-spoilers, Dustin.
Well, that's kind of hard though, because if they haven't seen the first 2 episodes, I guess we're gonna assume you saw the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, you gotta assume.
You gotta assume.
Do you think our audience is dumb?
Nobody
No.
saw those first 2 episodes.
Do you?
No.
Are you sure?
I think they're quite smart,
Quite smart.
actually. But so non-spoilers. So at the end of episode 2, we left off with Leia and Obi-Wan. They escaped, and we really start off from there. To kind of sum up, they're still on the run. In this episode, you run into some new characters, some mentions of some old school characters that actually we really appreciated.
That
but
was a good
That
one.
was about it.
Yeah.
And
One good point.
yeah, it was probably one of the best points of it. And we get a big bad. I'm not going to say who it is, but they're in there.
Yep.
And we have thoughts on it.
It's pretty much just a continuation of the Winnie the Pooh movie. That's what they're going for.
Do this.
Oh, bother.
It's so true.
Your ladder's
Oh,
broken.
man. For me, right off the bat, it just doesn't feel like it should be. That there's the editing, the pacing, the dialogue. Most all of this is just not solid. So I'm just starting off with that. There's a few good points, very minor, but I think because there's so much bad to this episode and this whole series so far for me personally, that any good points are really overshadowed by just the overwhelming disappointment of a lot of this show. But what do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I honestly, it's in the same vein. I think they took like 3 or 4 different shows and just mixed them all together.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not even really Obi-Wan's show. It's just sad.
It's like a loosely based off of Obi-Wan.
It's like a fan film based off of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And it's even worse than that because it's hardly based off of Obi-Wan.
There's not much Obi-Wan going on. There's a little bit more in this episode in some ways. At least it was on him most of the time.
I would say it was better slightly than the last 2 episodes, but not by much.
Not by much, if that.
Not by a lot.
Less cringe.
Not even a step.
I guess I'll say there was less cringy moments in this
It's like
than
a
there were in the
slight-
first 2. 'Cause
Slight incline.
the chase scene in the first one with Leia was laughable, like terribly laughable.
So was the second one.
And in the second one, it was
Several
like
laughable chase scenes.
yes, and and it didn't even make sense there at the end with Reva shaking her hand up at Obi-Wan when they were like 5 feet away. She could have just forced. I mean, they literally just showed her doing all these crazy acrobatic moves, and then she finally gets there. Not finally. I mean, they had that interaction, but then she
gets
finally
there.
catches up to him, and she can't do any of those awesome moves to get onto the ship and cut a hole in it and attack him. It made
Right.
no sense.
Right.
It's plot
They
armor.
did, and they did that even on if you played the video game with Cal Kestis, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
The second sister does that.
Yep.
She does a huge force jump onto the ship, is force controlling the controls of the ship to crash land it.
Yep.
It's epic.
It is.
And
It's great.
you have almost the same exact thing happening in this show, but they don't do it.
So what you're saying is they should play the video game instead.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's a better story.
Yeah,
it's a
it
better
is.
use of the Inquisitors.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Well,
And
this
Vader's in that too.
Yeah.
This is the first
But he's
live
only
action.
in there a little bit.
Is this
Yeah.
the first live action Inquisitor we've ever seen?
Yes.
Yes.
These are the first live action, so I get it.
So far, it's not going well.
No.
They don't look
They're
right.
squandering
There's some
it.
questions as to who's really in control.
There's
and-
also some questions to canon.
yes,
You know?
Yeah.
yes, there
Big
are.
questions.
We did have a comment, by the way, from Carla. She said, I did
Carla.
watch only the first episode. I enjoyed it so far.
Oh.
There are many good moments. There you
Good.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't want to spoil the next
Right.
two for you, but there's all kinds of stuff happening.
Right. And
Right.
and if anybody enjoys the show, I don't want to take that away
Right.
from anybody. I
Don't
think,
take it away, Dustin.
I'm not taking it away.
It seems
I-
okay. It seems like a show
Give it back.
for people who haven't seen
Take it back.
like the
No!
original trilogy or the prequel trilogy.
This is a show for them.
Yeah.
Wait, if they haven't seen the prequels?
If they haven't seen that.
Oh no.
Yeah. If this is their first time ever with Obi-Wan, this is the kind of show it feels like.
yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
I would say.
No, it
Yeah.
feels like people that didn't watch any other Star Wars made this show.
That
is what
too.
and
yeah.
they like had a loose example of what to go off of.
Yep.
They're like, here's some rough guidelines. You can play with them. You don't have to.
and they
Just-
immediately threw him in the fire pit. They were like, we don't need that. We got our own ideas.
yeah.
It also feels like
They're bad ones, but we're good.
It also
good.
feels like Star Wars made in 2022
Yeah.
for various reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
100%.
number one of them being like an obvious one is like everything's just too clean.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
nothing lived in. There's nothing dirty. Everything's
Well,
just polished.
I would say,
and
except for the stormtroopers.
Armor. That's all.
Stormtroopers are
kind
very
of.
dirty.
Yeah, kind of. But
Yeah.
that's a stretch.
The other
Right.
the other thing that I think they're doing a really bad job of is Star Wars is a big scope.
Yeah.
They're making it feel like a really cheap TV show.
Yeah.
It feels like everything's small and condensed.
Mhm.
They don't show any they hardly showing any like larger pan views. You know, like in Star
Yeah.
Wars in Rogue One,
Yeah.
they show the name of the planet. They show them coming into the planet.
Right.
They show a
Yeah.
lot of the scenery.
Yeah.
And they set up a good thing. But it seems like we're getting Book of Boba Fett with all this, where it's just like they have two streets to film on,
Mhm.
Yes.
and that's everything. And it just feels so small in scope, and it's hard to even follow where everybody's at. Even from one scene to the next, I'm
Especially
kinda
in
like,
especially
Yeah.
in this
Well,
episode.
I think we came into it with these high expectations, and we
No.
we knew that there may be some problems.
I
maybe
had
Maybe
very
not
low
high
I
expectations.
think we had low expectations,
Yeah, we
and
had
we went lower than
under
those
those
expectations.
Right, but when it comes to new Star Wars content, you're optimistic
Right.
because they could
Yeah.
give us something like Mandalorian, or Boba Fett episode 6
Yeah.
or 7, or something like Rebels or whatever. So far, the live action new stuff has not been as amazing, other than some Mandalorian episodes. Would you agree?
I would
Oh
agree,
yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd say Mandalorian is by far the best that they've come out with.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
peak Disney Star Wars was the episode in The Mandalorian or in Boba Fett. Whenever they show the Mandalorian,
is in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Episode
I think that-
6 or 5 or whatever.
I think that's the
Yeah.
best out of all the
Yeah.
Star Wars from Disney that we've got. I think that
Yeesh.
is the best. It was sad that they had to bring him into Boba Fett
To save the Boba Fett
well,
show.
and save it. I still didn't absolutely love what they did there with Grogu and Luke and how fast he made that decision.
Right.
I honestly I didn't like that. I kind of wished he would have stayed with
with Luke a
with
little
Luke
longer.
a little
Yeah.
longer. I
He came
didn't-
back in like
Yeah.
season 3 or 4.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
else. I think it would have been better, honestly. But
Yeah.
I understand why they did it. They did it because Grogu makes a ton of money, and the relationship between Mando and
Yeah.
Grogu is what kind of sells the show in
Right.
some ways.
Mhm.
So I felt like they were playing it safe, which I didn't think they needed to do, because from there it felt like he's going to go back to Mandalore and he would have had his own story,
Mm-hmm.
and then it could have been like Luke and Grogu
Matt's just sitting there like,
Yeah, we gotta get
I
to
look good.
Nick or Matt.
I'm Nick.
I'm sorry.
That is Matt.
Look,
You're Dustin.
I get confused.
You're also an idiot.
True. All right.
This table
Matt.
has more brains than you.
Oh my goodness. No,
There
that's
we
the show.
Plank.
No, this table has more brains than the people who
Yes.
made this show.
Yes. Yes.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
It's hard to make a show. I get it.
is.
But
It's hard to
But-
make a show, but
You can't.
whenever
They've
you
done
have
it
all the
before,
money in
though.
the world, like when you
They've-
have
yeah.
Disney behind you and you have all these things, you have every Star
Yeah.
Wars like at your
Resource.
disposal.
Yep.
it
It's
feels,
not even that
but
hard.
it feels like
It's
a cheap,
not that hard.
The reason it looks and feels
Oh,
like a
man.
cheap TV show is because it actually is a cheap TV show.
Yeah.
How much are they
true.
doing per episode?
It's
of
probably
this?
a lot, but for them compared to the movies and such, that's where Mando channeled the original George Lucas feel because they didn't have a massive budget in the first season, but they really made the most of what they had. Good
Yeah,
right.
acting, good story. You don't need money when you have a good story.
right, and he made the scope big.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
felt big because it was the people weren't always stumbling into each other. We knew, and
Right.
but anyway, it's
And it was epic, and they built moments up. They had
Yeah.
good storytelling. They weren't trying to push an agenda. That's most of it.
well,
really.
that's it. Yeah, the story
Yeah.
made sense. Oh, that fits into the
Makes
Star Wars
sense.
universe. That doesn't feel like they're shoehorning in some strange character that doesn't belong or some plot line that doesn't add up in
Right.
canon.
It's very diluted.
Right.
It's just like wait, I thought this we're going to talk about when some characters meet each other, like I thought that how could
Right.
this person die in this world but still be
Yeah.
alive later?
Right.
Like what
And-
happened in episode 2. And
Yep.
some questions
Mhm.
there
Mm-hmm.
that make it feel like a weird
Yeah.
spin-off fan film. That's not even
Exactly.
good.
Yeah. No. Agreed. Matt, I know you didn't get a chance to catch the first two, but you watched this one. We kind of caught you up a little bit.
Yeah.
You're kind of the action guy in a lot of ways. Without spoiling it, what did you think of the action on this episode?
There wasn't any.
There wasn't any.
How bored were you? Because I think a good meter of like keeping somebody entertained is Matt.
Don't
I,
spoil
uh,
it, Matt.
I looked at my phone a few times
Yeah.
It was-
throughout the thing.
Right.
I mean, you're
No,
not really like a
I came in-
hardcore
no.
Star Wars fan like us
No.
though either. So that's why it's
But-
kind of nice to bounce things off you.
Yeah, but see,
I didn't
even-
come into the show with any expectations at all,
Right.
really,
and
because I never saw any of the trailers or anything. I don't think.
right.
But
Yeah, you weren't like as hyped as we
So,
were
yeah,
to see
I don't
Obi-Wan again.
And
And,
see-
and we grew up with these characters too.
Yeah. See,
Obi-Wan
but
and
yeah,
stuff
going
like
back
that,
to
so-
your, being a super fan of the show, it's still not, satisfying.
I
Even
think,
if he's not a super fan, like
even for
it's,
you,
there's nobody that's satisfied right now.
even for
No.
you, Matt. What did you think? Like, were you like meh? Was it because kind of meh, or did you like it for what it was?
No, it
or-
was just meh.
it was just
Yeah.
meh. You didn't get
It
excited.
wasn't,
You were on
no.
the edge of your seat in any way.
Not
right?
really.
Mm-mm.
No.
Like, can't
No.
wait to see what happens next.
no.
Exactly.
That's the thing. If
There's no weight to anything.
It's just bad storytelling, is
Yeah.
what it is. That's the thing, and,
Yeah.
and they're relying too much on nostalgia and who these characters are in Star Wars.
Yep.
To just pass for making money on this show, which
Mhm.
or whatever. They didn't think things through. They didn't make a compelling story. First of all, I mean, really, it's.
Right.
Or maybe it might be in there, but the way that they're showing us
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
That's my point. Is like, I don't know where they're going with this. Like, we have 3 episodes left, and I'm just like, what else can they do
We're
to make
halfway
this interesting?
through the show.
Yeah, it's like there's really nothing else you can do to make it any more interesting.
Well,
Like, I hope they
spoiling
do.
this or we're not spoiling
Yeah, I
this?
think we kind of need to get into the spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't know if we
I
have
mean,
much.
yeah, we haven't spoiled anything yet.
I guess
No, okay.
do we want to rate it though in non-spoilers? let's-
sure.
Let's just give our rating for this episode
Okay.
in non-spoilers, and then we'll move on to spoilers. I don't know if there's much more we could talk about non-spoilers at
Yeah.
this point.
Right.
We kind of almost spoiled everything anyway, but
Did we? I like.
not really.
Did I? Was I not here for that? Because
No.
I don't feel like we spoiled anything.
We didn't really. I think I might have said something, but yeah, no, I think we're good. But
Dustin.
sorry.
Classic Dustin.
You said
Actually-
Obi-Wan. We didn't know he was.
We
in
didn't
this
know he
episode.
was in it.
We didn't know he was going to be in this episode
true,
based on the first
actually.
2.
Right. Yeah, we weren't sure if he was going to be in it the whole time. No, for me, I would rate this episode. What did we rate the ones last week?
Mine was a 5.
out of 10, right?
Yep.
I gave
Yours
it
was a
4 out of 10
because of the chase scenes.
It was just bad.
It's
Everything was
laughably
bad,
bad.
laughably bad. I think this one was probably about a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Again.
See,
All right, we're
and
moving up.
See, like I said, it's slightly better, but it's
Slightly.
not all that better. And
Yeah.
I'd still give it a 5 too.
5 out of 10.
It's not any. It's not that much better.
It's like straight meh.
It's like 5.1, not even 5.00000001.
half.
Well,
That's how much better it is.
You need the 5.1 because that gives you the subwoofer.
Oh
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
5.1 then.
You sound
But
nerd.
yeah, it's not. It's not really subwoofer quality. So no, it's,
You're
it's
right.
back to the
No,
It's
it
the
is
weak-
9
subwoofer.
zeros and a
It's,
1.
it's all subwoofer.
it's just muffled.
Yeah, it's just.
yeah. Our
It's like when you blow out your speaker and you're like trying to enjoy music, but all you hear is.
yes.
That's what this show is.
But it's like every time the fact checker pointed out a great
man.
point. She said every time that Reva takes a step, there's like a subwoofer.
Yeah, it's like
drop. The whole show is just subwoofer.
Those
like
are like the
she's-
heaviest boots known to man.
Right? Yeah.
Known to woman.
Known
She's
to
got
woman.
just iron
I was
feet.
gonna say man, but she's a lady. So
She's a
lady.
Is she? I don't even
She's
know.
a
anymore.
Star Wars lady.
Whoa.
She's a lady.
I always sing that
All right,
song. When
Matt. What
somebody
do you
says
rate
that.
this? What do you rate this
all
one?
right,
I'm
man.
not even gonna go as high as you guys because I'm not even looking forward to the next episode. So,
Spoken from not a super fan.
There you go.
so maybe a 3 at max.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
3
I mean,
max.
hey. What
See,
about?
that's the problem though, because nobody. I don't think anybody's looking towards the next episode.
Looking forward. To it.
Forward towards.
I think the only reason I'm looking forward to it at this
is
point
because
is
it'll end.
It's
I
funny.
feel like it's a train wreck. We're just watching
Right.
a train wreck happen,
Yeah.
and it's hilarious what they're doing on social media. It's laughable.
Don't
and
even get me started.
oh my
Like,
goodness, just
come
the,
on,
the
guys.
the way they're handling it is terrible.
It is. It's bad.
It's laughable.
It's
Yeah,
just
they're-
like
it's yeah, they're a laughing stock.
yeah.
Anyway, Dan, what do you think? What would you rate this one?
It's hard to say. It's unrateable. No, I'm just kidding.
It's unrateable.
probably- There's some cool moments in this one which pump it up a little bit for me. Unfortunately, as a whole, those moments didn't really land because of the build up.
Yeah.
no
There's
weight.
no weight to anything.
There's no emotion in it. It's just like, oh,
Here
here's
you
a cool
go.
moment. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow. Casual.
Right.
But I know I think I'm giving it. I think about 5.1. I'll be at Nick's 5.1 because of those moments. They pushed
Yeah.
us over the edge
And
just
the
a little bit.
subwoofer.
Than, compared to the last two, I don't remember any bad chase scenes in this one. So,
Well,
Well,
kinda.
well, there were some
Yeah.
there were some weird cuts, but I don't think we saw a Leia chase scene in this one.
yeah, no.
Spoilers.
Unless,
I know those people that were
Yeah.
looking forward to more Leia chase scenes. We got 3
They're
in 2
gonna be
episodes.
terribly
They're
disappointed.
going to be
Terribly.
mad that they didn't get another one,
Right.
but I think we'll survive. so
believe it. They ain't chasing her again.
let's hope for Leia chasing in episode 4.
Right? They should have just called this the Leia Chase show.
Leia Chase show. Yeah, Leia knows all.
You mean Lola or what was it? What was it?
Luma.
Oh,
Limu?
Luma.
Luma.
Yeah.
Limu.
Limu Emu.
Limu Emu.
Isn't Luma from Luma?
She's woke.
Oh
Luma.
man, isn't Luma
Illuminate.
from Mario, like Super Mario Galaxy or something like that? The Lumas, the little stars.
Oh yeah, what are they called?
I think they're called like Lumas. Yeah.
Yeah, Lumas.
From what?
That's the name.
Mario?
Super Mario Galaxy. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a
Lumas.
deep- That's a deep Mario cut right there.
Yeah.
We be gaming.
We also have a gaming channel called Laser Brain Gaming. If you guys
Yeah.
want to check us out there,
We have
check us out.
Yeah.
There's an announcement video buried in the annals of our story.
Yeah.
It's on there, but it hasn't gone live yet. But one of the
All
Laser
right.
Brain Gamings you did announce.
We gotta
that
put that live.
Yeah, we gotta
We gotta
we'll put it.
we gotta
we'll
put
get
it live.
We'll get it.
we just got to upload content
Liven
to
it
go
up.
with it. But Laser Brain Gaming is a real thing. So
Yeah.
we play
Yeah.
Mario, we play all the good stuff. Probably more fun than this episode.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
painful. These episodes.
It's okay though. We can have fun.
We
and
might have
can-
to go into hiding after these.
We might have to go into Jedi hiding.
Yep. We got to wear paper bags because
No,
we're
I-
ashamed we watched the show.
All right. Let's.
All right.
This is the point of the show. We're gonna
Spoilers.
go to spoilers. We're gonna go straight to spoilers from here.
Spoilers.
So if you haven't seen the show, we're giving you a chance. If it really matters,
Right.
get out of here. If you really don't want to know, but if You're not missing much in a lot of ways. So
Well, they already know our rating, so they can call it a day.
they can call it a day.
Yeah.
This is just fun talk after this. If you got a comment, though, let us know. Like,
we
comment,
wanna know.
subscribe, tell your friends, tell your frenemies. We love getting some chats with you guys, and we will always respond to everything you guys say. So
Eventually.
Eventually. 2
Yes.
years from now, in fact.
All right.
Maybe.
So, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Where
Vader.
All right, let's start with the positives.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good job. We'll do
Yeah.
a positive first.
Yeah, we got to find a positive.
The first positive was Vader
Vader
suiting
suiting up.
up. Okay. That was cool.
That's the end of that point. The second positive was Quinlan
We're
Voss.
just going to run through them.
Yeah.
All right.
Quinlan Voss.
They name dropped him.
name dropped him. He's from Clone Wars, if you didn't know that.
Technically,
Also, they had an
Yeah.
episode with him and Obi-Wan
and he was
together.
in the prequels, technically.
Yeah,
too.
he was in the prequels.
Like the one
technically.
scene or whatever.
What
which
does he
didn't
look
like
like
half a
again?
second.
I should bring in
Yeah.
a picture.
He
but
look,
anyway.
He's got yellow across his face, and he's got like dreadlocks.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
dreadlocks. That's right.
He's cool and he's funny.
He's sweet.
In the Clone Wars, he's
Yeah,
funny
he's
and he's
hilarious.
really
Do you
cool.
remember what season he was in?
I want to say like two or
Okay.
three. But
Early
I
on.
don't remember. It's pretty early on.
on.
It's when they were chasing
2 or 3.
Zero
Maybe
the
4.
Hutt.
Yeah, Zero the Hutt.
Okay. Yeah, he was pretty cool. Was he like a hunter kind of?
Yeah, he's like a tracker.
Tracker, yeah.
And
he
he has the ability, psychometry, I think is
Yeah.
what it is, where you touch an object and you can see who's touched that object
Yeah,
that's
or
right.
like different time period.
Yeah.
It's a cool skill.
Which
So
is
you can
technically
figure out where people go.
They kind of ganked that from him in The Force Awakens with Rey whenever she
Yeah.
grabs a lightsaber,
Yeah.
which
There you
wasn't even. It didn't even really work.
It didn't really
even
pan
make
out.
sense. The way
Also,
that they
we
had
never
it
found
for
out how Maz Katana got that lightsaber.
A story for another time.
question.
It was a
For
dead,
another
it was a
time.
dead end.
Yeah,
we
another
love
dead
dead
end.
ends.
Okay, cool. Yeah. just
Classic
It's okay.
Disney Star Wars.
give us
dead
all
ends.
these, like, bait us with all this stuff and then just whoosh,
He's
dead.
like, they promise the world and they deliver nothing.
Yeah. It was like rat traps.
Yeah.
They just killed it.
Yeah.
They killed us.
Do you guys see any link to Mandalorian in that Quinlan Voss reference? I missed the reference in the show.
Mandalorian?
Some people online are saying there's a reference
Because he
possibly.
says the way, or because of the
Yeah,
quote that he says leads
Only
to
when
the
you
way.
close your eyes can you truly see.
And, he's like,
And then
see what?
Leia's like, see what? And he's like, the way.
There you go.
And then we were like, oh, this is the way.
I guess maybe. I mean, it could.
Yeah.
I would be
It's
up
a
for
stretch.
Quinlan showing up
Yeah.
in Mando.
Mando.
He
Yeah, but-
could.
yeah.
be cool.
I mean, yeah, you could do it.
I don't know if I'd necessarily say this is the way. He's not Mandalorian anymore.
No, he's not.
Unless he
This
switched
is
to
the
Mandalorian just to
way.
stay safe. Who knows?
Right. He's got his
That'd be
own, his own sect of Mandalorians.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. Jedi Mandalorians.
Yeah.
That's what I've always wanted to see.
Yeah.
Other positives. Let's keep running through these positives.
I think that was it.
Well, no, I got one. I got another one. The underground,
Okay.
underground railway. That
Railroad.
they're kind of. What's that?
Underground Railroad.
Railroad. That's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say. That was pretty cool.
That's
you know?
what they're kind of setting up. in
Yeah,
the
because it's
universe.
like this whole slave trade back in the day.
Yep.
They had the underground railroad.
Railroad.
Road.
Yeah.
I always want to say
They
railway.
had a
Sorry.
specific name.
I mean,
forget what
yeah,
they're called.
I guess you could call it railway.
But it was about
people understand.
It was about people getting slaves that wanted to become free, which was awesome.
Yeah.
They got them to certain points in certain houses and
Yep.
hiding spots to get
Mhm.
to the north.
I think it ended in like Canada.
Yeah, it was like something
Yeah.
like that. And it was cool. And that's kind of what they set up here
Yeah.
with the Jedi. And I like that.
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
cool.
really like that. That's a really cool
Jedi
thing because
and
that would make
refugees.
sense.
Yeah.
Because people are trying to help people. I like that. And obviously the Jedi are being hunted. Not just the Jedi though, even what she said in the show.
Yeah.
I didn't mind her character. I thought
I didn't either.
I thought she'd be kind of annoying. I didn't fully understand why she was like controlling those stormtroopers, shot them all, and then just stopped.
Yeah, I don't know. She's an Imperial officer, obviously, but then
I
she
guess-
also helps people escape. So it's like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird
It just
because
wasn't
it's like, how's
explained.
nobody figured it out yet?
right?
Like, how these people keep getting away? You know,
That's true.
Yeah.
They're like, hey,
or
man,
has
this-
has she killed stormtroopers before?
right.
Like, or is this the
Or
first time
maybe
she
it's
did it?
the first time, but she said not. He's not the first Jedi that's come through here, so it
Right.
kind of means that she's been doing this for a while, which would
Yeah,
I don't know, it just didn't make a whole bunch of sense.
right.
Although I thought the character was fine. She was fine. I
Yeah.
didn't have a problem.
She wasn't annoying. She
No.
wasn't over the top.
Nope.
I just think this episode as a whole, or this season, this show, I think you just can't think about it too deeply because
No.
clearly they did not.
It's like
Yeah.
a fluff piece.
It's a fluff piece.
Yeah.
Well, and it like Boba Fett, really. Besides the Mandalorian showing up in the Boba Fett, if I could forget it, I would rather forget Boba Fett than think of Boba Fett as that character because they did such a bad job with that show. It's laughable. Again, it's like Power Rangers. It's terrible, terribly corny.
Yep.
And they nothing made sense.
No.
That's the problem. They don't think anything through. It's bad storytelling.
There wasn't any common sense.
Yeah.
There was a lack of common sense in that show.
Right, because they just thought about purely what would be cool,
Right.
and they didn't think how to link anything together.
Cool and edgy.
Yeah, they didn't think how to link, and they didn't think of anything practical wise. They were like, oh, if she can jump onto a ship, if the second sister can jump onto a flying ship that's like 30 or 40 feet away using the force and control to almost crash into the ground, couldn't Reva do that?
Right.
Third sister? Jump
But,
onto
hey,
that
you
ship
gotta
and do the same
remember-
thing?
Maybe.
Second sister was in a video game. That's not real life.
Right. I know that's the excuse they always go to, I guess,
Right?
is like,
It's not
oh, live
live
action
action.
is so much more difficult to do these things. I get it, but you're also Disney and you have like $3 billion.
Unlimited resources.
And why did they have to waste all that money on that weird like wire rooftop run?
Right.
The Batman
For it not even to
race.
pay off.
There are ways to like use that time and money. Like they just spent it in the wrong area.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
So,
like in Boba Fett with all the motorcyclists.
the flashy motor.
Right.
They look like
a
they could.
bantha.
Yeah, they could walk into this show right now and fit in.
Right.
Yeah.
What were they called? The robot people.
I don't even know.
Power Rangers.
Modders. The modders.
Power Rangers. Yeah, the modders.
Oh yeah, those guys.
They
I
were
thought you
the
were talking
Power
about
Rangers.
the biker gang.
That was one of the, again
The
with
Pike,
chase
or,
scenes.
Yeah,
They suck at
Starts
chase
with an-
scenes.
Starts with an N.
you're right. That was a horrible chase scene.
Yeah.
Too.
Again,
they called?
Boba Fett had a horrible chase scene. It was like
Yeah.
2 miles an hour chase scene.
Yep.
Oh,
It's the same thing with
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
They like themselves slow chases.
They do.
Right? They're like, oh, the camera can't capture it that fast.
Just like
you guys
stop.
gotta slow down.
You know, one of the best chase scenes in Star Wars was in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That was
And
because it was
speed bikes.
fast paced. The
They weren't
pacing of that was
messing around.
awesome.
Yeah, and that was like old school
Also-
trickery.
Yeah,
and
it's practical effects pretty much.
yes.
It's-
By
It was
a
kind of
master.
painstaking practical effects.
but
Well,
it was worth it.
Not really
'cause
though,
it paid off.
What they
Yes.
did is they just walked through the redwood forest with steady cams.
Yeah.
And then they just sped it up.
Sped it up. Yeah.
It's not that hard. I mean, other than them on the bikes and stuff like that. But you mean
But
to tell
that's
me you
done
can't-
separately.
It
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
creativity.
Yeah.
and well execution.
Yeah.
Again, if you can pay people,
You need the mind of Lucas to make Star Wars shows.
yeah, and that's the problem. The people that are making it now are making it.
That's
not.
why. But that's why The Mandalorian is so good.
because
it's Dave Filoni.
it's done by the protege
Yeah.
himself, which is the heir apparent to George Lucas, who was
Exactly.
taught and trained by George Lucas, and
Exactly.
who implements Akira Kurosawa's
Yep.
film methods.
Mhm,
And I think that's really what helps. The people that are doing the filming on these they just don't know how right now
They're
how to
kind
do
of
a good
like
story.
Yeah, they're kind of like film students that just graduated.
No, you know what they are?
And it's their
they're
first
just,
film
They're
they're
just
working
people
on.
that are making TV shows in 2022.
Oh,
And they
that's true.
pulled them over into a Star Wars show.
Yep.
We're like, oh, okay. Yeah, let's just make like whatever. I don't even know what garbage TV shows are on like CBS or whatever right,
Right,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Let's
feels
just
like
take
that.
one of these new pilots and let's just make it Star Wars. That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
There's no like we don't know the lore. We don't really care.
right.
We're just
'cause-
being paid to make a Star Wars show.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then that's why.
yeah,
sorry, last
No, no, you
point.
go, I'm
I think you can take away from something like this is the garbage that you or the low quality, let's just say, of this episode just amplifies the higher quality stuff that we got with Filoni and Favreau
Yeah.
and
for a lower
Rebels,
budget.
which really
Yeah,
is all Filoni,
right?
all the stuff that Filoni touched,
Yeah.
all the animated stuff.
But I think with
Mandalorian
I think the execution of Favreau is what made Mandalorian
and the
so
execution, yeah,
good.
because he's a good
I
filmmaker.
think Filoni, as good as he is with canon, I do think he sometimes has slight hiccups with storytelling and pacing with certain things.
with filmmaking, not with
Filmmaking.
story,
Not
with
the story,
filmmaking,
yeah, sorry, the filmmaking itself and maybe
Yes.
that. But when Favreau stepped in with Filoni, I think that was kind of the perfect
It was the
combination.
beautiful.
Yes.
Because
Beautiful
Favreau's done
combination.
well executed movies, especially live action, because Filoni's really just been in the animated universe. So I think that's why the
Right.
pairing of those two made so much sense.
And Favreau's a really good actor.
He is.
Yeah.
And he knows how to
act.
direct actors.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
another good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Does he know how to direct kids?
Yeah, he does because he did a movie, Chef.
Elf.
Yeah, he did Elf, and that
that's
was
true.
well
He did do
executed.
Elf.
And he did the
I think
movie
that- was
Chef,
that
and there
his
was a
first
kid in
one?
that movie.
Was Elf his first movie
It was
he directed?
one of his earliest movies. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
his first movie,
It was a
but
cult classic.
that one's fantastic.
It is, dude. It's
It's a movie.
timeless.
One other question: has there been any levity in this show at all? Like any
Forced
funny
levity,
moments?
I would say.
Yeah,
Like genuine funny moments?
Yeah. Okay. The first
Yeah,
Tika?
episode,
Oh,
Tika
okay.
the Jawa. Tika
Tika the Jawa. That was probably the funniest.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
true.
And he's like, if you're gonna steal my
that's
parts
right.
and sell them back, at least clean them. And he's
That's
like,
true. That was
no,
funny.
cleaning
But that was
cost
only
extra.
like one moment,
Yeah.
you know? But
yeah.
That was pretty much the only levity.
there's no
in this.
comic relief
Yeah.
anywhere.
No,
No.
which I'm not necessarily against, but yeah, Star Wars, classic feeling Star Wars has
Yes.
moments of levity in it.
Right.
It's just
To
another
take away from some of the seriousness,
Well,
and it helps it
yeah.
not be necessarily too hokey.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can if
balances
you do it
out.
wrong,
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Mhm.
it balances.
Otherwise, you
out
got
the
these heavy
seriousness.
moments that are just like, it was kind of like this weird tone, and then
Yeah.
you got a little kid like
Okay.
asking
Okay.
random
more positive?
questions. All right, go ahead.
Or you no,
I
you,
mean,
you,
no,
you do.
yeah, go to the positive.
No, go ahead. You.
I was
do
gonna
it.
say the heavy moments, but there's a weird tone. Is the whole you get because we're in spoilers, right?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah. The
Say it.
whole like scene between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. It was just like, it wasn't as heavy hitting as it should have been
No, there was no
at
build-up.
all. Like there
no
was
build-up.
nothing. And then there's that one scene where they're facing each other. Obi-Wan runs away this direction, comes back the other direction, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why did he come back to where Darth Vader was? And it's like,
yeah.
oh, it's a completely different area. Okay.
Oh, that's what
way
it
to
was?
confuse me. Yeah,
That's
it
just-
was.
I just picked up on that tonight.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was supposed to be. I
It's a
thought he
different
just,
area.
I
I'm
thought
like,
he just ran to
Yeah.
grab something.
What?
and
That's
then
what I
came back
thought.
right, he's like,
empty-handed.
oh, 1 second, I gotta go shut the stove off.
I thought it was gonna start like getting comical, like
That's-
Obi-Wan was gonna
Yeah.
like change the tone and be like, "Who are you?" You know, or something. He's
Right.
gonna-
He's like, I'm Ben. I don't know who you're talking
Right?
about.
I'm not the Jedi you look like.
Yeah, he tries it on Vader. I'm not the Jedi.
Yeah.
You're not. Get out of here, Obi-Wan.
Right? Oh, stop that. Stop that.
I think
I don't know.
What-
What that
we're gonna
was.
come back and rip that apart because that was terrible. But
Yeah.
Well,
before that,
here-
I
did
will
you
say
guys want-
positive.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is another positive is James Earl Jones coming back as
That's
Vader. At least we got
The
James
voice of
Earl
Vader.
Jones, and that felt Vader-like.
And we got to see the face of Anakin.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
Hayden
Momentarily.
Christensen.
Hayden Christensen.
Very momentarily, but as he
Yeah,
was getting
Which is
built.
great.
Speaking of which, though, I feel bad for those guys.
Yeah.
It just feels like they can't catch a break in
They
some
can't catch
ways.
a break.
Right.
Because the prequels, I love the prequels because the story is there. I just think the execution, Lucas just needed a Favreau
Yep.
for the directing the actors.
Yeah.
And to kind of hash out a few details. But the story is there, and that's why I'll always stand by the prequels. It's just, people pan Hayden and, well, I don't think they really pan Obi-Wan, but they pan Hayden a lot for his acting in the first three.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's why it's like, I feel like they can't get a break because they're coming back to this, and it feels worse.
Yeah.
It's worse
Right?
than
It's
the
like,
prequels.
Ooh.
And I'm just
Well-
like, I'm sorry, guys. Like,
Right? It's like,
we're excited to see you, and that's the thing. I'm excited to see these characters,
yeah.
but just what they gave you is total garbage.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have
here-
nothing good to work with.
I was listening to somebody the other day, and they were talking about the credits of the first episode, and how basically if you follow the trail of the credits, it shows the various iterations of the show in its production and its development, and how
Oh, really?
this point here shows the story writer who wrote it as a movie, and then this person here shows it being written as a TV show. And if you go over here, here's a co-producer who was going to make it a trilogy. And then if you go back over here, now it's a regular TV show, and then it got rewritten as a Disney Plus thing with the new Disney Plus writers.
Right.
So that's why
And
it
then
feels like
Maybe that's why it's all over the
And
place.
it's just like, I think that's what happened with all these projects, because none of these projects in the new Star Wars have gone off without a hitch, except
Right.
for maybe Mandalorian.
yeah.
yeah.
And, I mean, if you think about it, every new thing is like, oh, this person got fired. They reshot all of Rogue One under some anonymous director, and then even then they did reshoots, and then Han Solo, then they reshot it, and
oh
then
yeah,
The
practically
Last
the whole
Jedi
movie.
was
Right.
Last Jedi was through and through.
Yeah.
but it may have been one of the worst by some people's
It
standards.
is one of the worst.
And then you get the Rise of Skywalker, and you're like, what was that?
Another
It was
disconjointed.
disconjointed. You know, it was
With,
all.
there's
over
a
the
story
place.
here somewhere. I just got to find it.
Yeah.
By the end of the movie, he's
it
like,
feels-
I didn't
So
find
I think if you
It
look at
feels
that,
similar. This feels similar though.
it does.
To that
It
movie.
just feels disconnected, and there's
No-
no flow. There's no story. So
And
there
no
you
build
go.
up, like you're saying. Yeah. No, that's a great point. That's why it feels like
Yeah.
such a disconjointed mess, and everything just feels like where are we going? I just feel like a
Yeah.
ping pong ball in the middle, like Star Wars. I'm just like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Like I
right
said,
now?
where are they going with this? It's halfway over, and I'm lost.
And that
I'm like,
moment with Luke,
I don't know.
with Obi-Wan and Anakin, it should have been like the final moment of the show.
Yeah, it should have been the best.
Not some random like halfway through the third thing while there's too much going on outside of it. Like that should have been like a
Yeah.
seriously special, you know, like you said, Dustin, nothing else around them
no. It
in-
should have
in-
been epic.
or epic to
They
the
should have been
max.
like I'm saying. It should have been them on
Yeah.
a starship. Open
Right.
to the atmosphere,
Yeah.
crashing to the planet, and they're dueling it out like
Yeah.
two bosses in their prime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they showed. I mean, I like
Maybe
The stuff,
I don't know. Obi-Wan, since he's been
He's
beaten
not,
down,
yeah.
I guess I get why he wasn't very good. But that, as somebody who's worked on choreography before, minor, just fan films,
It was
but,
pretty weak.
But that was
It's pretty weak.
that was weak, man. That choreography was just like, what was that?
Right.
And they like didn't talk to each other.
No.
Like there was no preamble. It was just like, I don't know if they just couldn't they didn't have enough lines for James Earl Jones, or they just didn't
Right.
get enough from him, so they had to make it work around that.
Yeah.
That's
Once
almost
again,
what it feels like.
Once again, Ewan McGregor has to just like create acting
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
nothing. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm worried, but don't want to be here. And
Right. I'm gonna run away in this direction.
Yeah,
And then come
I'm
back
in
in
pain.
He
this
just
direction.
kept running away.
Yeah.
You're just like, what are you doing?
Just keep running through the sand. We'll edit it later in
Also-
post.
Yeah.
Vader starts using his lightsaber as a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
eh. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, if you're trying to toy with them, I get that, but this is just silly.
It was very silly.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
And they tried to make it horror-esque, kind of like Rogue One,
it wasn't.
but it
even
just didn't
scary.
hit as hard. It did not hit.
no.
There was no weight.
Yeah, they didn't build up him showing up. There was no like
He just was
music
there.
swell.
Yeah.
There was no like,
Yeah.
oh no, I can sense he kind of like Obi-Wan had to act it all out.
Yeah.
They relied completely on Obi-Wan's acting or Ewan McGregor's acting to sell that scene.
Yeah.
And it still fell
they
flat.
lingered on it too much. Like
They
they're
did.
supposed to
It
be getting
was-
the heck out of there.
It was way too long.
I was hoping that they would make their escape and then maybe Ned 8 or what was his name?
Ned B.
Ned B would like fight
Ned
Vader to
Right.
slow him down, and they just get away. And then they have their true confrontation like 3 episodes later.
Right.
That would make sense.
That would make sense.
That's what happened kind of in Rebels. They had a quick confrontation. They got out of there because they realized there's no way they could defeat him.
Yep.
And there's
And yeah.
yeah, he's definitely going to come
there's
back.
definitely going to be some
There's
kind
going to
of.
be more.
I would think, but I don't know if I want any more. That was so bad.
That was
it was
so-
just
the
it was
editing-
unearned and
It was. Yeah.
unsatisfying.
Even the timing of things. If you think about it, the timing of things, it was like day for 1 minute, and then
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they're like and they were on a totally different planet, the Inquisitors,
Right.
and they sent out those probes or whatever, and there was
3
daytime.
probes,
Three.
mind
Three?
you.
Yeah.
Three.
There's
Yeah, let's
search all
billions
these
of planets. They send out 3 probes.
Send all the probes.
Just send out 3. It'll find them.
Yeah.
Don't you want to cover a bit? It's fine. It's fine. It's just send out 3. One of them will find him. I
Yeah,
know.
Sure enough,
They
it
can
found
sense
him.
his essence.
It made no sense.
It didn't. No.
It's
I was
like a whole
expecting,
star system.
like, I see, you see the 3 shoot off, and you're like, okay, is that like the first wit? No, okay, it's just 3.
They're like, this
Yeah,
looks
cool.
This is all
Highly
we need.
likely that just 3 probes are gonna find Obi-Wan in a vast universe. You keep forgetting that.
Yeah, it feels so small. It's stupid.
It is.
It
It's a
is.
small,
It's just-
cheap TV show. It's called
It's so bad.
Star Trek
This-
Discovery
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah, this is
The Return of
Obi-Wan
Vader.
Kenobi. If you're gonna do Obi-Wan Kenobi, you pull out the A team
Yeah.
and you make every episode a self-contained movie.
Yeah.
Every episode
Everything.
should be a self-contained, awesome movie.
Honestly, I think if we would have had a movie, it'd be better.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I was excited
should
at
have been a
first because I was
movie.
like, oh sweet, we'll get more of Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but watching
Now
it,
I'm
you're
like-
like, I really wish it was just a movie.
The movie would
If
have
they cut out all the Reva,
stops.
cut out all the Leia,
Yep.
cut out all that stuff, you just
Yep.
bring in Luke, and then have him accidentally run across Vader one time.
Well,
Right.
I still think they're screwing with canon by bringing Vader and him together because
Yeah.
it says
they're
he says
not taking very good care of
no,
what they're doing.
Last time we
too
met,
loose with all the.
I was the learner,
canon.
but now I'm the master.
Which
That's what Vader says.
He just owned him.
yeah.
Vader just owned Obi-Wan like he didn't even break a sweat.
Nope.
He dragged Obi-Wan
Yeah.
with the Force through like fire just to get back at
Right.
him.
And then that whole scene
which felt
afterwards.
really petty too. I was like, what?
The whole scene afterwards is like, dude, he could literally just because Ned B comes to save him. It's like he
He's
could literally just
watching it
grab him
happen.
and
He's
just
like-
pull him through the fire. Again.
Vader's like, I just did this, but for some reason,
Right.
I don't feel like using
I
the
didn't
Force now
feel
to get the person I've been hunting for 10 years.
like there were a
Just gonna let
few
him
parts
go.
that he was like, I can see the hate that he has for him. But overall, it was just kind of like, this is fun.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and let him escape because I'm done with it. But I hate him. But I hate him so
have
much.
to find him.
Reva, get over here. Take care
Yeah,
of the
right,
rest
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
If you fail me, I'll destroy you.
Wait, how can she fail him if he doesn't even let them go after
Exactly.
her?
You know what my favorite is? It's like the
She's got
storm
plot armor.
the stormtrooper didialogue that was going on. Like that's
Yeah,
like the show
okay.
writers. We can't get through. We
Right.
don't know what to do. How do we get to him? What are we gonna do next? I don't know. There's something in the way.
Speaking of can't get through,
That's what it felt like. That's the show writers. Like we don't know what to
Yeah.
do. How do we get around
right?
this?
Yeah.
There must be some other way. But speaking of no other way, the whole
Yes.
gate scene, the laser gate, and he's like trying to turn it off. I'm like, dude, you could literally just sidestep like 2 feet and go around.
it. Yeah.
Like,
That was the dumbest thing.
there's no weight at all.
There's
like,
this-
if there was like solid walls, I could see it.
On either
if,
side.
Or if, it had like 12 million more lasers,
Yeah.
you could he could have jumped it, for goodness sake.
Jumped in.
It was just,
It's a
could
show. I'm
just like,
it's made
what are
for
you
kids,
doing?
man. It's made
It
for
is.
kids.
Yeah, but
Yes.
then he's like,
but
Kids
then
don't understand.
you get the Vader scene
Yeah.
where he's walking through town just snapping people's necks.
this
Oh,
is
yeah.
kids. It was
Torture,
a
yeah.
kid's neck.
It was like, what is
Yeah, it was a
going
kid's neck.
on?
You're right. It was,
Probably
this
an
is-
actual 10-year-old, unlike
yeah. Oh, he's actually 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Leia, who's
Oh, I will say another
says she's
pro
10
is
when
whenever
she's
the
only 8.
yeah, she's a liar. But the other pro is whenever the stormtrooper fell off onto the gate and is split in half. That
Yeah.
was actually pretty.
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
It's sad that no
Yeah.
lightsabers have done that, but a gate can do that.
Right?
Yes.
It's like, what are we doing here?
You guys are really got your priorities straight.
Again, there was
we can't kill him, but the gate can kill him.
Yeah, the gate can split people in
Because
half
we all
he
know-
fell onto it. But a Jedi cutting somebody
We all know
with a
Jedi don't
lightsaber,
kill people.
you only
Laser
slash
gates
'em.
do.
You only slash them. You don't cut.
Yeah.
Okay, it's too gruesome.
Right.
But we're gonna snap this kid's neck here in a
Right.
sec. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry.
It's
This show's for
weird.
kids too.
It's-
Reva's
This show's
the best.
This show's for kids.
It's written for the intelligence of kids, but they're trying to like spice it up like it's a Netflix like mature show
Yeah.
with like the violence.
But then it goes right back to being a kid
and then it goes
show.
back to like being written for like a 4-year-old who doesn't
Yeah.
like know how to write their own name.
This
It's
is
just sad.
This is how bad this show is. Okay, I love Star Wars a
Yeah.
ton, and I usually
That's why you're getting passionate.
That's
Yeah.
how I am because it's like again, it's not that hard. Seriously, there's only like a few things you need to do to make this show epic, and we could probably fix them ourselves, and we could have come up with a better story. I still think a self-contained story on Tatooine.
Yep.
I know some people think that would be boring and lame, but if you
Well, 'cause,
read
yeah,
the
we've
Kenobi
been-
book,
To Tatooine 98% of
Right.
the time we've been on the whole
right?
sequence of events.
Well, they shouldn't have given us or Boba Fett before this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
then they blew their Tatooine. So like, well, we can't do Tatooine with Obi-Wan
Right.
Well,
because now it's they were just there with Boba Fett. It's like, well, then don't give us Boba Fett on Tatooine.
Well, they
Right.
shouldn't have given us Boba Fett if the way that they gave Boba Fett. There needs to be
They could
somebody.
just erase that show and we'd be okay with
There
it.
needs to be somebody
There's
at
gonna be a lot of
Disney,
erasing.
like Jon Favreau or Dave
Yep.
Filoni.
Yep.
Somebody needs to be watching these shows before they release them to the public, or
Yeah.
before they announce them to the public.
Dude, could you imagine?
to give them like a fan check, to be like bring in some super fans, have them watch them. If it
Yep.
doesn't pass, the super fans, like honest super fans, not
Yeah.
shills. Like we're not shills because we're definitely ripping it apart. But honest super fans that would call out canon mistakes, that would call out all this garbage, and filmmakers, just filmmakers that are good filmmakers.
Yeah.
You know,
Could you
have
imagine?
them like watch it, and if it doesn't pass that test, you don't announce it
No.
and you don't
You
show it.
you reshoot the whole thing.
You go back to square one.
Yeah.
It's better than the damage you're doing with these terrible shows.
Could you imagine how George Lucas feels about this?
He's
Like,
got to be
dude,
laughing
he's gotta
with
be
his $4
like-
billion.
He's laughing, but also I would just, if this was my universe, I'd be livid. I'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This is not my, like, what are you doing?
If it was me, I would be contemplating buying it
I'd be
back.
like, just sell this to me right now,
that should
or
have
I
been
will
a
burn this
My-
place to the ground.
My $4 billion has appreciated now into $30 billion.
Right.
So I'm gonna give
I'm
you
just
$2
gonna buy
billion to
I'm
buy
gonna
it back.
I'm gonna buy Disney. So you guys are done.
I am still the majority shareholder of Disney,
Right.
so I think you need to give me Lucasfilm, and while you're at it, give me like all of Florida,
Yeah,
all of Florida.
it shall now be known as the
all
Star
of your
Wars
Florida
state.
properties, and then I'm just gonna like build a house there.
Yeah.
He's gonna make Disney World his house.
Yes.
I would. Here's what I would have done if I was Lucas. I wouldn't have sold it to Disney in the first place because Disney's evil in some ways. But I would have, if he didn't want to make films anymore. I understand that, but he should have been
He
the
should have
ultimate
kept
decision.
it. Yep.
He should have been the ultimate
Yep.
decision maker and kept it and just hired these directors
Exactly.
to make his Star Wars
It
films.
would have been. Way
He could have made billions of dollars. Do the same format. Do a trilogy
do the right thing.
maybe he just didn't want to deal with the day to day. I think that's part of it. I think he was just over it after the prequels, but
Yeah.
he's got to be laughing now. Like,
Right.
you guys didn't like the prequels?
Right.
This is 10 times worse.
Yeah.
At least the prequels
Yeah.
had a good story.
He's just like,
And he was pushing technology in that. I mean, they kind of are in this, but that again was Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. It wasn't anybody else.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's just a sign of as goes Disney, so does Star Wars. You
Yep.
know what I mean? For a while, we kept believing like, wow, Star Wars will be like different, and it won't be weird like all the other Disney stuff.
it's worse.
And cheesed and cheaped up. Remember that? We were all worried in
Yeah.
episode 7. We're like, oh no, it's going to be like Disney plus the mouse. And it kind of like held true. You're like, it's kind of intense, because you kind
They're
of,
gonna come out with a musical number. I swear.
because Star Wars is not like rated R usually.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's PG-13. So that's why Disney maybe makes sense.
Yeah.
But now Disney's kind of like in this weird, like, we got Disney Plus. There's actually like rated R stuff on there now, but oh no.
Dustin
Oh,
has
no.
vanished.
I'm back.
Disney's they don't know what to do with this stuff, and I think Lucasfilm is like, well, we want to do this and we want to do that, and Disney's like, well, we want to do this and we want to do that, and we own you, and they're like,
Right.
okay, and so then they write something really good, and then they're like, by the time it gets to the public, they're like, it's gone through so many different.
Well, there's too many.
Yeah.
Too many
playing telephone
chiefs,
with
not
it.
enough Indians.
That's
in a
why
lot of
Netflix,
ways.
everybody liked Netflix because Netflix just like wrote you a check at one point. They're like, here's like $50 million. Go make something
make a
really
show.
good.
Okay.
And so they just run away with it, and that's why some of those shows, some of those movies were pretty good.
And
Yeah.
just to say how bad this show is again. Okay, so usually I watch it here, and then I'll go watch it with my wife afterwards,
And
then
you
we'll
notice
talk
a
about
lot
it.
more glaring problems.
No,
with it.
I just it was so bad last week that I didn't even want to watch the show with her again. I wanted to watch Stranger
Ooh.
Things. And I've been watching Stranger Things. That's straight horror, and there's some dumb elements to it, but overall,
yeah,
that
that's just a horror movie in general.
it is.
There's
but-
always
well,
stupid stuff.
yeah, but I mean, even some of the characters, I don't like the woke way they went with some of them.
That's true.
But the thing is, though, that is so well executed. I mean, that
Right.
that is amazing. That
It's
show,
exciting.
and you're on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
And I cannot. It's one of those shows. They end every episode, and I'm like, I have to know what happens next. I
Yep.
just have to. I have to know what happens next. It's a horror show. It's definitely not for kids. 100% not for
Right.
kids. But wow, I was so bad that I didn't even want to watch it again. That's how
Right.
bad it was. And
Yeah.
I tried not to. I didn't say anything to my wife because
Yeah.
she's a Star Wars fan,
Right.
and I didn't want to give it tell her how bad it was. I just let her watch it, and it was really hard for me not to say. I ended up saying a few things whenever she would say something, but she thought it was not that good either. And yeah, it's that bad, man.
But what if somebody loved it?
If somebody loved it,
They gotta be new fans.
He's
They
really
gotta be
thinking
new
hard.
fans.
I'm really thinking hard.
Oh, that's a tough question. What?
Yeah, why don't you answer that one?
How would I answer? If
They
some-
don't have good taste in
If
shows.
someone loved it, then you just got to say that every piece of entertainment is subjective.
I guess.
And so your
or
opinion.
they're blind.
I will just never listen to anything that you say that you like ever again.
Right. Also, your opinion is invalid and you're shunned.
No, I'll say this. I'll
Then
say
if you may be the target demographic. I'm guessing the person that likes this is a casual, maybe slightly more casual
I'd say a
fan than
casual
maybe they
fan.
love the sequels. They watched the originals once when they were 4, and they never watched the prequels.
Right.
And they just love binge watching TV shows on Disney Plus, and they like, modern TV shows.
And some people just love anything in the Star Wars galaxy. They don't care if it's crap or not. All they think sometimes is, at least we're getting new Star Wars. And I used to be that way in some ways.
Yeah. But now it's like there's a through line.
There's a point. I've hit that point where
there should be a through line.
Well, and if you're new somebody who loves this show, really what I want to say is, what I'd love to do is show them this, but I want to take them back to the original trilogy and want to show them all of those movies and explain why those are infinitely superior to what
in
we got.
every way.
Because once you know the lore of Star Wars, and what should be, and how Star Wars feels, the tone of Star Wars, the characters, what it all means in a lot of ways.
The vastness of the galaxy.
Yeah, the vastness of the galaxy. There are just things that take you right out of Star Wars, and most of this show just takes me out of Star Wars. It doesn't. There's only a few moments that I'm like, oh yeah, that feels Star Wars. But for the majority, it's like, what are you guys doing? This is a terrible fanfic with 18 people writing it.
Yeah.
And you can't decide on one thing or another. You're trying to push an agenda. You're not even really making it about Obi-Wan. You are, but you're not.
He's in it.
There's no preamble.
Is it his show, though?
You have the D team executing everything. There's no epicness to any of this. That's garbage.
It just goes to show that I think when it comes to these very important characters, you use them sparingly and in a movie.
Yep.
Don't put them in a TV show and then overuse them.
Yeah, honestly, I'll even go as far to say I don't think they needed Darth Vader in this show.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it would have been a better story.
I agree because then you wouldn't be
been
messing
smaller.
with canon.
Yeah, it would have been smaller and it would have felt like it should.
Also, messing with canon. Funny you mentioned that. We already established this the last episode.
Yeah.
Did she kill the Grand Inquisitor?
They haven't
Because if
answered
she
that.
did,
Haven't addressed
this
it.
show is not canon in any way.
Or they're
shape, or
decanonizing
form.
Rebels.
No. Rebels is canon.
Yeah.
This show, if she killed off the Inquisitor, then it's not a real show.
I think they're decanonizing
It's a fever dream that Obi-Wan had.
I think they're making anything live action is canon. Anything animated and whatnot, non-canon.
Well, then why even bring the Inquisitors in?
Yeah. Why do
because
that?
Inquisitors
Make them
mainly
completely
came
different
from
people.
Rebels.
they're taking and piecing together what they took, what they have to work with
they're
from the
ruining
animated.
it.
Exactly.
And they know, I
possible.
think they know it, and I think they're doing it on purpose.
Right.
It's possible.
Well, I think they can't come up with anything original. And
Nope.
that's the problem. And they're using all these. The only way they can be successful in bringing their original ideas, which is like Reva and stuff like that, woke ideology. Sorry, I'm gonna say it. I know we kind of danced around that before, but whatever. It is what it is. They're pushing an agenda, and it's stupid. I don't have a problem with the actress at all.
No.
I could care less. I mean, I don't have any problem. I think they just wrote a bad character. It's the character I have the problem with, not the actress.
She's very static.
Yeah,
She's very one-dimensional.
well, and it feels bait and switch.
It does,
The start of the show
It's
it
literally
started
her.
with her. It
Yeah.
literally started
Yeah.
showing her.
If you call it an Obi-Wan show, if you call it a Darth Vader show, and you bring in some little kid the whole time,
Yeah.
Right.
It's
It's like,
wait,
that's not a
this is
Darth Vader show.
You bring in it's called the Boba Fett show, and there's all these mods running around. that
Power
we're-
Rangers.
Power Rangers more worried
Spy
about,
Kids.
or other people in that show that were one-upping Boba Fett. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the Bad Batch. Wait, it's not the Bad Batch. It's actually about Omega,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
and it's Luke's story, but it's actually not about Luke in The Last Jedi. It's about Rey, or I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's about
not
and
Luke.
she can't do any wrong.
Yeah.
She can't do any wrong.
Mary
Yeah, there's
Sue.
that, you know,
Too many
so-
Mary Sues. And the problem with the Mary Sue is there's no character development, which
Yeah.
equals bad storytelling.
See, that's
Because
kind of
it's not
where they're going.
relatable.
That's kind of where they're going with this show.
Yeah.
She has no development. I mean, unless, She does the whole 180 thing
Which-
because that's original. I've never seen that before in any form of media.
I don't know how they're going to do it at this point, too, and
I
without
don't
it
either.
feeling like
Yeah.
super forced.
Well, she
I
feels.
don't, it's gonna be
Yeah.
cheapened.
Is she gonna take Leia back to what's his name?
Oh, to
She just murdered all those people in
Right?
front of Leia, and the funny thing
suddenly
is
she's gonna have a change of heart.
I
Why?
The
don't
funny
know.
thing is they end this episode with Leia running away again.
Yeah, right. And
I
it's
hope
like,
she gets
oh,
away from
good.
Reva.
Another chase
That's
scene.
what I want to see.
I hope-
it did leave on a
brother.
cliffhanger. Oh, you're right.
I
It
hope
left
Reva
with a-
runs into a tree branch in the
Right?
woods.
It left
A
on a,
cactus.
It's gonna be
on
another
a
pipe.
chase scene cliffhanger.
It did. It literally did.
Wow.
Literally,
that's-
it's gonna
I just
come.
realized that.
It's gonna come to a crossroads in the piping, and like Reva's gonna be like right here.
No.
Leia's gonna turn, and then Reva's gonna stop in the middle and be like, "Where'd she go?"
Yeah. No, and then in that pipe. Oh no, not everybody's seen that movie. Shoot, I was gonna say, have you seen Doctor Strange?
No.
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
That was one of
Oh.
the worst scenes of that movie.
I haven't
Oh,
seen Doctor
let's just-
Strange.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
I'm not
new
gonna
one?
say it
Yeah,
because
we
I don't
won't-
want. I don't
we
want
won't
to.
say
I
it.
don't want to spoil.
But I
such
know
a-
exactly what he's talking about.
Such an
and it's just-
amazing moment.
It's not amazing.
It's not. It's terrible.
It's sarcasm. He said amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But
It's
it's
just
underground.
the dumbest
So
logic
Leia's gonna run
ever.
into that's gonna meet there.
Right?
Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. No, but
I don't know, man.
They're gonna
Yeah,
go full
chase
horror
scene.
movie for the next episode.
yeah, I hope so.
yeah.
No, they just. There's no way.
They're going to
there's
turn
no,
Reva to the good side.
I'm assuming
Yeah,
that's where
that's
they're
what's
going
gonna
with
happen.
it because I don't know where else they could go.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's going to work. They're going to meet up in the tunnel. She's going to like threaten to kill, but she doesn't really care about Leia. She just wants to get to Obi-Wan.
Right.
So Vader couldn't kill Obi-Wan
Also,
because
why-
Reva
why-
wants to get him.
Like we still haven't figured out why she's so obsessed with Obi-Wan.
Yeah, they have not
Exactly.
explained that.
No,
yet.
there's
Which,
no reason.
You'd think 3 episodes in we'd have like, and there's only 6.
Some backstory.
There might be.
Maybe because if
There was that one part where you were like, "Oh, please do a flashback," and they totally didn't.
They
do
didn't.
It.
I was like,
She
this
just-
would be a perfect time to do a flashback to explain why she was so obsessed with taking Kenobi.
Yeah.
So riddle me this. Anakin was not cut to bits in this Order 6016 we saw at the beginning of this show, right? Anakin was Anakin, like, right?
Yeah.
Or was he Vader at that point when that opening season?
Order 66.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he still-
he didn't have his armor.
He didn't. No. Yeah,
he was
just
Anakin
straight
and he
Anakin.
wasn't cut to bits.
Right.
He only had one arm.
That's the only
That was
thing I can think
robotic.
of is
Yeah.
she saw him
Right.
during Order 66, but we have no backstory.
Because she could be
We
mad at
haven't been shown
Anakin,
that.
but why? But
Yeah.
she's not wanting to kill or Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like she's mad at Obi-Wan because he didn't kill Anakin or
Maybe
Darth
that's
Vader?
what they're gonna do.
Eh.
Maybe
Could
he's
be.
finally gonna get Obi-Wan, and then Reva's gonna try to kill Darth Vader, and then she's gonna end up getting killed, and Obi-Wan escapes. I'm calling it. That's what's happening. That's what's gonna happen.
no,
you
I-
think she
by
wants
the
to
end of
kill
it.
Darth Vader?
Yeah, because it's gonna have a flashback of when she saw
Anakin
Anakin
like,
in the temple killing younglings,
killing younglings.
and she's just been seeking revenge this whole time.
That would make
but
sense.
how would Vader not sense that in some ways?
I don't know. The dark side of the Force is weird.
I know. I mean,
Snoke
he does
couldn't even
sense it,
sense
but-
it in the sequel trilogy.
I mean, maybe
He's
he
turning
could.
his lightsaber to strike his opponent. It's like, you can't see this thing right here
Sense it.
swiveling? Come on!
The sequel trilogy.
I hate
dark.
I hate the thought process that goes into this.
Yeah.
Like, if your audience can just think of a better story than what you're showing them, you
With
have
little
failed
effort.
as a writer
With little effort.
with very little effort.
Yeah, because the more you think about the original trilogy, the better it gets, and
Yeah.
the more it makes sense in a lot of ways.
Dude,
Well,
there's
the
like
simpler
the
the
original
better.
trilogy,
Simpler the
like
better.
even without everything else, it's still like as good as it was
Yeah.
when it first came out.
Right. The only thing is really that you can say is it's an aged movie. That's the only
Yeah.
thing you can say about it. But even still, the practical effects hold up way better.
Yeah, because they're practical.
Yeah.
They're not CGI. Which I mean, yeah, the prequel trilogy, like it was, the technology wasn't there.
But it pushed
Which
the envelope
is-
for its time.
It-
At the
it did.
time, it was really good.
It did, but could you imagine that movie if it was practical effects?
The prequels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd
I
be
think-
even better.
I think it would be.
Yeah,
I think a mix. I think a good mix of practical and CGI. The way you shoot it can make it like
nah, man, straight practical.
well, like The Mandalorian has a bit of both, and I enjoy that. I think especially second season. The second season
Yeah.
of The Mandalorian was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
I think again that was some of the best.
So
But yeah,
to recap,
yeah,
we're coming up on an hour. We hit an hour.
Yeah.
We've
We gotta
been
get- we gotta
railing
wrap this
longer
up.
than the episode itself.
Not hard to do.
Not hard to do.
48 minutes, I think.
But
the episode
to
was.
be fair, there
it's
was
51.
let's just say
Something like that.
let's say there were 100 points of this movie that were like plot moments.
100
Maybe
points?
like 90 of them were bad and 10 of them were good.
yeah.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Something like
I
that.
mean, really,
Not
we only
even
named
gonna
off
lie.
for a 51-minute show. We named off 5 things that we liked about it.
Not even.
Not even 5.
I think it was like 3 or 4.
yeah, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Again, no preamble, no
Yeah.
nothing, no epic fight. It was.
Yeah.
It felt weird. It didn't feel like Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fighting. It didn't feel
No.
like this is a huge moment.
Yeah.
Star Wars is designed to all interconnect, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they struck out on that one because it doesn't feel like anything is working with the rest of the larger Star Wars universe.
Right.
Not at all.
It doesn't
Like I said, if it's
push anything forward
like-
in the current Star Wars universe.
yeah. Could you imagine if this whole thing is just a dream sequence
I hope so.
and he wakes up at the end and he's like,
That's
"Oh, that was terrible."
no. That's what I hope.
and then just goes back to sleep.
That's what
That
I,
would make sense.
It
That
would.
would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
actually make a lot of sense.
Because then you'd be like, oh, that's why like some dream sequences, like things don't quite make sense. You're like,
Yeah.
why am I wearing
That's the only thing that would make sense right now.
Why am I wearing?
my shorts on my head?
Why am I
know.
wearing a Jedi outfit?
Where
when
am
they're all
I?
looking for
Pants?
Jedi?
And they're all looking
Right?
for Jedi. Yeah, exactly.
Also,
Let me put
yeah,
up my Jedi
yeah,
robe.
the
so I don't look more-
incompetence of the
Why is-
stormtroopers in this episode is just it's baffling.
This
Yeah.
10-year-old is not 10. Why is a 10-year-old a 6-year-old?
You said her name was Leia. I thought it was Luma. Like,
That was the best acting
couldn't
of the
that,
show.
shouldn't that like?
Yeah.
Did they not see a wanted poster for Obi-Wan
Right,
and
they-
Leia?
We're looking for a Jedi.
Right?
He looks exactly like you, but you can't be him.
She's like, exactly you, but not quite.
He should have used the Force and done the Jedi mind trick. That would
should've.
have made. We said that that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
So
On all of them.
riddle me this. One more thing.
How are you, the
Dan's the
Joker?
Riddler tonight.
The Riddler.
They didn't when
Reva's Batman.
Leia went missing. When Leia went missing,
Uh-huh.
like obviously her dad did not reach out to the Empire for help.
Right.
But who was the bad guys gonna sell Leia to or whatever?
It was Reva,
It was Reva.
It was just to Reva.
Yeah.
so that she could lure in Obi-Wan.
But then Reva put out the
To all the Empire
be on the lookout
for
a bolo.
for Leia or for
Obi-Wan.
just Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
So Leia's still off the Empire's.
Right. But you
know.
gotta think that those stormtroopers would have seen something.
Well, the Grand Inquisitor knew about Leia. They did know
Yeah.
about Leia because he said you kidnapped the senator's daughter
all right.
Yeah.
to do this. Which
So
again, I mean,
there you go.
yeah, they're Inquisitors. That's what they do. If that's what
Right.
they need to do, that's what they need to do.
They
They're
inquire.
They're making the rest of the Inquisitors dumb so
Yeah.
that they can prop up Reva again.
Also, the fifth brother with his Batman voice.
Yeah, the
That was
whisper
great too.
Well, we
Yeah,
got
sub-
Batman voice.
with
We
sub
got
overtones. Or
Right.
whatever.
Batman pose, Batman voice.
I think they wanted to do
They
a
just
Batman
wanted to make a
movie.
Batman show. Yeah.
That's fine. It's Gotham. Wasn't that like kind of a cheap like
Yeah.
TV show, Gotham?
I think
or-
it's still on.
Yeah,
actually.
Show.
that's kind of cool, but cheap.
I'll say something else too.
All right, last-
the last thing.
Last thought.
The way I think that Lucasfilm and Star Wars knew that this was going to be bad. I honestly think
They did.
this. They knew it was going to be bad because the angle they've been playing on social media is everybody's a racist if you don't like Reva. And like I said, I don't care the skin tone
Has
at all.
nothing to do
It's
with her
the-
skin
it's
color.
the character. The
Yeah.
character is a bad character.
Or even her ability as an actress. I'm sure
Right.
she's a great actress.
She might
This
be.
show though, not good.
It's again, it's what they have to work with. I don't always
Right.
put it on the actors. I'm more directing it
Yeah,
towards
no,
the,
it's a
the
bad,
writers.
it's a badly written
right.
character.
And it's just annoying to me that I think that's why they're really trying to distract from how bad this show is by calling their own fans
Racist.
the ones that they're trying to sell this series to. I don't even know who it's for at this point.
No,
if you're
nobody
calling
knows.
everybody a racist,
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck is the point?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they knew it was going to be bad. That's why they're deflecting. and they don't want you to say anything negative about the show because if you do, you're a racist, which is stupid.
Yeah.
We should always be able to say what we have on our mind.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech, baby. We should always be able to say what we have on our mind.
Exactly.
And that does not make us racist.
No.
Because that's stupid. Anyway, that's
Anyway, on that bombshell.
yeah, that's just been irritating.
Getting
me,
real.
the way they've been handling that. The
Yeah.
show is terrible. I'll just say it right there. So far, we got 3 episodes left. If you're as excited as we are to watch the rest of this, like
gonna
this
be good.
episode. Oh wait,
Not even
dislike.
close.
Wait, I kind of was going backwards on that.
Right?
Like our episode,
Yes.
we're gonna keep tearing it apart. I mean, reviewing it.
Constructive criticism.
We're
Yeah.
gonna hope for the best and expect the worst.
I think what we're gonna try to do is for next week. We're gonna think about what could have made this show better. I think I've already outlined a few things, but maybe we'll have some practical applications for the people that have written this show. We'll put our money where our mouth is in some ways.
We'll have to put our film where our mouth is, and by making another fan film.
We do need to make another
Make a
fan
fan
film because
Put your film where your mouth is.
At this point, if we had a fraction of the budget they
gosh.
had, we could
you
make
imagine?
a better story.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
And we're not even
riddle
that
me
good.
this. No, I'm kidding. They
Riddle me
said
this.
about 25
Batman.
mil per episode is what's been projected.
25 million per episode.
Dude, if
That's
we
what
had
we
like
read somewhere.
5 million, we'd be set.
How about
We could make a whole
5,000?
series with 5 million.
We could all buy houses and still make the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Because if the story is good, you need $12.
yeah,
You literally need an iPhone if the story is good.
Yep.
That's all you need.
Mhm.
It's just spend like a year and write a really the best story you could ever think of.
Right.
Get your iPhone and have
And just-
mediocre
yeah.
actors.
yeah.
See, the problem is they got probably 23 million of that was Obi-Wan or was Ewan McGregor. Like, I am not coming back unless you pay me so much money that even if because the show's not going to be good enough because you guys aren't good enough. I can tell that already.
He's like,
You
I need
give
his
me-
money up front.
He's like, you give me
Right,
24 million right now per episode, and I'll come back.
The other million was Hayden Christensen coming back.
So therefore, they only had 1 million to spend per episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hayden got like 150,000.
Right? He got paid in food.
And then they gave the rest to James Earl Jones.
Right?
He's
James
like,
Earl
I'm too
Jones
old
got
for
the
this.
rest, so they literally had like $50 per show, and they tried to do all this. So they're reusing.
I mean,
Boba
if
Fett
that's the
sets.
case, very well done for $50.
That's what they literally
No, still no.
Boba Fett was being filmed. Like they literally were like, "Can we just while you guys aren't shooting, just throw some people?"
Right?
So we got a Darth Vader
night
impersonator to walk out there. He's like, "Get this, fight him with like
no
a one
bother.
take."
Oh, bother.
Oh man, I think
That's Darth Vader.
they actually lit Ewan McGregor on fire in that scene. That's why he made so much money.
That was a real burn.
It's like they couldn't afford a stunt double.
No, that
Oh,
scene
man.
was the epitome of the show. Just light Obi-Wan on, just throw Obi-Wan into a fire.
We're gonna
Just
do
hold them there.
We got to do a
them to
recap video
burn.
of the show. Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's
Right.
burning the fire, and then it's like the end.
The end. That's all you needed to know.
How the turntables.
Yes.
Wicca wicca.
On that bombshell.
We got to get out of here.
Yeah, we
Thanks.
do.
If you made it to this point in the episode, we appreciate you more
Yeah.
than anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you're a Star Wars fan like us, rock on.
right, we're
Right.
passionate because we like good Star Wars.
We love Star
We
Wars.
will not accept subpar, woke, crap, garbage Star Wars. Okay.
I think the point is that we all like Star Wars.
We do.
Yes. Good.
And some of it that's made lately is not very good, but we still like Star Wars.
no.
Yeah.
Some of it made recently was really good.
Yes.
And so we still like Star Wars. So we're waiting for the really good stuff. And when we find it, we'll bring it to you. And if we have to go make it ourselves, we might.
We might do that.
We might not. We might just tell you we're going to do it.
Oh, we
Problem
just
is
might.
Disney's probably going to sue us for trying to do that.
Yeah, right. They'll be like, you can't do that.
Silence.
Silence.
Only we can make.
Crappy Star
Only we can make Star Wars shows.
Yeah. Seriously, Star Wars Theories fan film was better than this. Way better.
It
than
made more
this.
sense.
It
That's
did.
that's
It
where
totally did.
But that's why they didn't do it that way.
And they're
Because
gang-
they're like, we're not going
Because
to
they're
do
like,
what
we
he did.
can't make
Yeah.
sense. We got to keep people.
Well, then
thinking
he would
we're
get too much satisfaction
incompetent.
out of them, you know.
We can't make our own fans happy.
Right?
We have to call them racists and dumb losers.
Have you
Yeah, that's
seen
probably
what-
honestly, that's probably what it is they're trying to make the
Original trilogy fans.
no. The
No.
people who own the company What are they called?
Shareholders.
Shareholders. That's what they're doing. They're making their shareholders happy. They don't care about us
How are they making the shareholders happy?
because it's money.
This is making no money. It's diminishing returns.
Which is why they
I
can,
never said they were
which is
smart.
why they can flush it. That's why they can
He
flush
said they're
it.
incompetent.
They can
earlier.
flush
Yeah, I
all
did.
their ideals because they're not really losing any money on this show. It's all in the Disney Plus pile.
Yeah.
If they made a movie, then there's a metric to
Yeah, you know,
to
that's probably what it
gauge.
is. Yeah.
They make a movie for like 100 mil, and then like 12 people watch it because we would not go back to watch this movie again. You know what I mean?
No.
But if you make a great movie, you could
Not
make
at all.
7 billion. You know,
Top Gun. Top Gun's making bank.
Yeah.
Top Gun.
It's amazing.
Uh,
well, that's because it's been. Did you watch it, Matt?
It's really good.
It's got like
Yes.
97% of Rotten Tomatoes. Or
You
something.
definitely recommend that over this, right?
Oh, 100%.
And Stranger
100%.
Things, Stranger Things is actually blowing this out of the water. When you look at the metrics for
I believe it.
different metrics,
I haven't seen
Disney
it yet,
won't
but
release
I'll
everything,
probably
but with the
watch it.
metrics that they can see, Stranger Things is blowing this out of the water, which is well deserved, honestly. From what I've seen so far, it's amazing compared to this.
Interesting.
But I had another point. Shoot.
No, you didn't. We got to end it.
Yeah,
No, you didn't.
yeah, we do.
Forget
gotta
about
end
it.
It's past Matt's bedtime.
Dan, what were you just saying about?
25.
Oh no, my last thing. I have one last theory to throw out there. This is the kind of a crazy theory in some ways, but
All right, here we
I
go.
think that Kathleen Kennedy, so she took over. I think she hated George Lucas. I think she ended up hating George Lucas, and she just worked her way like the Emperor in Star Wars to get to his number 2 spot, and then he finally hands the keys over to Sheev Kennedy,
The Empress.
the Empress, and then she's just driving it into the ground because she hates Lucas so much. She wants to completely destroy his legacy through these things. That's a wild theory I've had for a little while because really, when you look at it, you're like, nobody can get along with her. The directors never stick around.
Right.
It's like, other than sheer incompetence, which I think it's either sheer incompetence or it's I want to tank this IP.
All right.
Really, in a lot
Maybe
of
somebody
ways.
else is paying her to do it.
Because Star Wars, out of everything, is a guaranteed check.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
should
guaranteed
be a
money. It
guaranteed
should
check.
be. To fumble it
Yeah.
so bad is sheer incompetence.
It's almost like
It's not just once. It's like fool me
Yeah.
once, shame on me. Fool me twice. I don't know the rest of it.
Over and
on you.
over and over.
Yeah.
Then you blame
like 5
the
times
fans.
in a row, yeah.
You blame this. You blame
Right.
that. It's like, no wonder nobody wants to work with you. Or you can't even get good talent because all the good talent are smart enough to see what's going on at Star Wars, and they're like, nah, I'm out.
Except for
I
Ewan.
don't-
He's like,
I
give
don't
me
wanna do
24 million an
Well,
episode
Ewan's
and
just
I'll come
yeah,
back.
Ewan's just wants the money. I think in some ways, and he likes the character. Sorry,
Yeah,
that
Everybody
sounds
just
really
wants the money.
right.
it's all about the money.
Anyway,
So 25 million for us, and we'll make you the best Star Wars fan film you've ever seen.
yeah, exactly.
You better. We're gonna
What do you
make
guys?
out.
What do you guys think about that theory, though? It kind of makes
Yeah,
sense
I
in
mean,
some
it,
ways.
it would make sense. I thought you were talking about the 25 mil.
No.
Dude, we could make like
We could make amazing.
we could make like an 8-season show with that.
We could make
we could do
amazing. Yeah, we could make some amazing stuff with 25 million. You kidding me?
Yeah.
And even not even 25 million, just the resources of Star Wars, like
Yeah.
the connections.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
it wouldn't be that hard. We could make something epic and people would love it.
All right. Well, we're going to put our mouth where our money
On
is.
that bombshell,
Yeah,
we're
we
getting
gotta go.
$25 million.
Yippee.
Be on the lookout for our
It all starts.
fan
If you
film.
guys want to send us some money, that'd be really appreciated.
It all starts with a
something great.
like on this video.
Right?
Yep. Join our effort to reclaim Star Wars.
Yeah.
Reclaim
For the
Star Wars.
fans.
We need to start a hashtag reclaim Star Wars.
A new hope.
A new hope.
A new hope.
New.
Hashtag reclaim Star Wars.
Do I have a choice?
For the fans.
New.
New. All right.
Very symbolic. Yes. I love it.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends.
later.
Tell your enemies. Tell your frenemies. And we'll see you next week for Obi-Wan episode 4.
For Obi-Wan.
4 Obi-Wans. It's going to be 4 Obi-Wan. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Fun.
Anyway.
Peace out.
Hello there. Goodbye.
Hello there.
He
Oh,
almost
bother.
he almost said that at one point. I
He's like,
really was hoping they were going to say
"Hello."
hello there.
Yeah.
That was a missed opportunity.
It was,
Even that.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.